Good night and welcome to Benalmádena's first English news broadcast. Digital Costa del Sol brings you every Friday all the information about this week's news. The Urban Agenda is a strategic document to strengthen urbanization and sustainable development that is being promoted by the United Nations, and our City Council is going to receive funds for the creation of an action plan to support these objectives.
Benalmádena's Mayor Víctor Navas and General Administration Councilman Sergio Torralbo held a press conference this week to talk about new funds obtained for the creation of Urban Agenda action plans. Navas stressed that this plan will help to reactivate the productive and commercial fabric of the municipality. The central government have launched, with the support of European funds, the Recovery, Transformation and Resilience Plan that seeks to help reactivating the productive fabric after the crisis caused by the pandemic. With these funds, we have the opportunity to plan the city model for the future. As a government team, we leave nothing to chance, with previous work and planning by the municipal technicians in close collaboration with the municipal government. He also highlighted the value of planning and citizen participation as vital elements to define and promote a new city model. We have always been clear that the city model planning must have citizen participation as one of basic pillars. Now we obtain funds to draft our urban agenda, a basic document to access European funds that will be implemented over the next few years. These are multi-year plans based on sustainable development objectives. After the recent Glasgow summit, it has become more than clear the need and the urgency of fighting climate change, and therefore we are working to ensure that public administrations are the driving force behind the engine of change towards a greener and more sustainable economy. He also stressed that we are one of the 3 municipalities in the province to access these funds. Benalmádena is not going to be left behind. We are already working to achieve the goals from Agenda 2030, preparing the necessary documents that will allow us to access these European funds. We are very pleased to be one of only 3 municipalities in the province, along with Vélez, Málaga and Torremolinos, to gain access to this first call, receiving for it 200,000 euros, which will serve to launch a process of participation and active listening to our city model planning. For his part, Torralbo highlighted that thanks to a resolution of the Ministry of Transport, we have received this fund of 200,000 euros, explained the objective of the 2030 agenda. Within the range of cities between 50,000 and 100,000 inhabitants, only 22 Spanish towns have received this aid, among which is our city, which should be a source of pride. This is an aid for the development of a pilot project for an urban agenda local plan. The Agenda 2030 allows us to organize ideas and approach to improve the city and coordinate the various local policies on urban planning, environment or social promotion in order to rethink how to improve our urban model with the participation of citizens and social partners such as business, third sector and associations. Finally, he stressed that this is an important document to qualify for European funds, which will serve to modernize the city, and has had words of thanks for the technical team involved in obtaining these funds. This aid will allow us to carry out a diagnosis of Benalmádena in order to determine the sustainable development objectives set by the European Union, such as improving sustainability or the optimization of public services through new information technologies. I want to thank the workers of City Council Local Development Area for the commendable work to gain access to these grants. The Urban Agenda is a strategic document which presents urbanization as a powerful tool to achieve sustainable development, both in developing and developed countries, among which is our country.
City Hall organized a meeting with hoteliers and tourism professionals from the municipality to show them the new tool developed by Tourism and Planning Costa del Sol that uses big data and artificial intelligence to achieve a more efficient tourist promotion. Benalmádena's Foreign Resident Department organized a meeting with British residents last Monday to show them support and help in order to solve any doubts or consequences caused by Brexit. People traveling to countries such as United Kingdom, United States or Canada will need a full vaccination schedule of one of the approved formulas, as they don't recognize the immunity caused by passing the disease. The latest data from AENA shows a growth on the international travelers arriving to Malaga's airport, with figures only 18% lower than before the pandemic. This number seems to indicate that the sector is in the right path to a full recovery. And these are today's headlines. The weather forecast for the weekend will leave us with cloudy skies with occasional thunder showers, which may be locally strong around the coast in the early morning and in the late hours. In the region of Antequera, minimum temperatures on the rise and maximum in decline. Winds from the east with a strong gust in the morning, decreasing to light in the afternoon. And that's all. Thank you for watching us, and remember, you can stay updated on our website or social media profile on Facebook and Twitter. Have a good night and enjoy the weekend. City Hall organized a meeting with hoteliers and tourism professionals from the municipality to show them the new tool developed by Tourism and Planning Costa del Sol that uses big data and artificial intelligence to achieve a more efficient tourist promotion.
Benalmádena's mayor and tourism councilman, Victor Navas, held a meeting with hoteliers and tourism professionals from our municipality to make available for the first time a new tool developed by Turismo Costa del Sol in collaboration with municipalities that analyze the market using big data and artificial intelligence technology. Hoteliers and tourism professionals have seen how a tool of this type can be used to plan their marketing strategy and to predict how the demand will be in order to design the most effective commercial offer to present in the Asian markets. We thank the director of the Analysis and Tourism Intelligence area at Tourism and Planning Costa del Sol, Rafael Fuentes, for his willingness to resolve all the doubts raised from the tourism sector. Diputación launched this tool to continue positioning the Costa del Sol and our province as one of the most desired destinations for national and European tourists, in addition to continue betting on tourism knowledge as an essential pillar in the future improvement of our companies and destinations' competitiveness. This powerful tool allows us to know from the number of tourist beds available at any time or the number of people staying overnight during any day of the year in our city, to the origin of most tourists who choose Benalmádena as a destination, or even knowing their habits, customs, and places most visited by tourists who visit us. Navas stressed that the tool has been very well received by the sector and tourism professionals and set an example of the effectiveness and potential of this new resource. We always thought that the German tourism that visit us travel mainly from Berlin, and now, through big data, we have been able to know that it comes mainly from Frankfurt and on what days of the week they mainly travel, which allows us to design more effective, accurate and cheap commercial strategies in order to address directly our potential audience. The system is divided into two large blocks, one with qualitative reports to know how tourism is going in the province and the tourist municipalities, as well as the markets, tourist balance, strategic plans, and dozens of bulletins, reports, and studies already written. And on the other hand, the tourist big data, which is composed of data on demand, so that the organization's decision-making can be as efficient as possible.
Benalmádena's Foreign Resident Department organized a meeting with British residents last Monday to show them support and help in order to solve any doubts or consequences caused by Brexit.
Benalmádena mayor and foreign residents councilman Victor Navas held this week at the Innova building a meeting with British residents to make himself available and resolve any questions related to the city council scope, with special attention to the consequences of Brexit. The mayor stressed the importance of foreign residents in our municipality. Our foreign residents account for just over 30% of the total of population of the municipality. The British is the largest foreign residents community in Benalmádena, and they are now suffering the uncertainty generated by the Brexit, which is why it is especially important that we are here today to participate in this meeting, along with lawyers specializing in residency issues. It is an event that we organize from foreign residents to respond to their needs and doubts on issues such as residency, health insurance, or taxes. The delegation's coordinator, Joanna Dodowska, highlighted that they try to help foreigners who come to ask for help or information, mainly on issues such as the municipal registry or taxes, but also collaborate with foreign associations and organize events throughout the year, such as St. Patrick's Day, St. David's Day, or Norway National Day. After talking about several issues related to Brexit, the mayor made himself available to the attendees to resolve any doubts or questions related to the municipal current affairs, and attendees being especially concerned about the situation of closure of the Tivoli amusement park.
People traveling to countries such as United Kingdom, United States or Canada will need a full vaccination schedule of one of the approved formulas, as they don't recognize the immunity caused by passing the disease.
Countries such as the United Kingdom, the United States and Canada require travelers who have overcome COVID-19 to have a full vaccination schedule of one of the approved coronavirus vaccines. None of them recognize the immunity gained after recovering from the disease and, therefore, do not recognize the Spanish vaccination plan, which administers a single dose to those who have beaten the infection. The rule is clear to travel to these countries. Either the complete guideline must be administered or quarantine will be necessary upon arrival at the destination, as is the case of the United Kingdom, or passengers will simply not be allowed to enter the country. This limitation prevents many Spanish tourism entrepreneurs to travel to the world travel market due to having only one dose after overcoming the virus. The Health Ministry announced that those who need the complete guideline for travel reasons may make an appointment at their health center or go to one of the vaccination points to receive the second dose with proof that they are going to travel. Afterwards, Junta de Andalucía's Health Minister Jesús Aguirre said they will administer the second dose of a vaccine against COVID to people who have had the disease, and that, for travel reasons, a second dose is required to complete the schedule. This decision ends the limitations of people in Spain traveling to destinations that have an entry condition of having the complete guideline. We are not just talking about holidays, but destinations with which important commercial and business contacts need to be maintained. Last Sunday, Aguirre was answering questions from journalists after taking part in an event in Córdoba, where he acknowledged that the rise is slow but steady and they have to assess it to see if it is necessary to take any measures in order to stop it. When asked about the upcoming winter season festivities, he said that people in Andalucía need to be cautious and prudent and hope that, because of the large number of people we have vaccinated, the evolution of the disease will not be the same as other Central European countries. In August, Spain's Ministry of Health shortened the schedule for the vaccination of those who had recovered from COVID-19, which initially was 6 months from the onset of symptoms or the date of diagnosis of the infection, but since then has been reduced to 4 or 8 weeks. The reason for that change was the circulation of the Delta variant in order to give additional protection. Meanwhile, Spain's Agency for Medicines and Health Products has given the green light to the Phase 2 clinical trial of the coronavirus vaccine from the Spanish company Ipra. Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez confirmed the decision just weeks after the cabinet approved funding of around 15 million euros for new phases of the clinical trials. He explained that the study will be carried out in 10 Spanish hospitals and will have the participation of 1,000 patients.
The latest data from Aena shows a growth on the international travelers arriving to Malaga's airport, with figures only 18% lower than before the pandemic. This number seems to indicate that the sector is in the right path to a full recovery.
The international tourism takeoff on Costa del Sol, witnessed by the sector since mid-September, has also been reflected in the activity statistics for Malaga's airport in October. During this month, it managed to recover 82% of the passenger numbers that it handled during the same period in 2019, before the COVID-19 health crisis. The latest data from Aena indicates that 1.5 million travelers passed through these facilities in October 2021, which is 18% fewer than before the pandemic. But in terms of the operations volume, Costa del Sol Airport has almost recovered its pre-pandemic levels. In October, more than 12,000 flights landed and took off on the runways, just 3% fewer than in the same period in 2019. However, the airport is still far from the figures prior to the health crisis. Around 7 million passengers have passed through the terminals in the first 10 months of the year, a figure that is almost 60% fewer than in 2019. Also, in terms of flights operated, more than 74,500 aircraft movements have been registered, 41% fewer than before the pandemic. Despite this, Malaga Airport remains the fourth most important in terms of passenger numbers and operations in the Aena network. Across the whole of the network, during the first 10 months of 2021, almost 94 million passengers have passed through Aena airports and more than 1 million aircraft movements have been registered, 39% fewer than before the crisis. Meanwhile, one of the province's biggest tourist attractions is suffering changes. The management of the Caminito del Rey walkway is expected to change hands in the coming weeks. A consortium formed by Sando, Salcillo Servicios Integrales and Mundo Management will take over after an appeal presented by the current operator was rejected by an administrative court. The bidding process for the management of the Caminito del Rey began in November of last year. The consortium, headed by Sando, said it will keep the ticket price at 10 euros and committed to pay an annual fee of 350,000 euros to operate the attraction and also pay a 46% of the maintenance cost to the provincial government. It also established that 60% of the tickets will be sold directly to individuals. 35% will be made available through authorized agencies and establishments, and 5% could be reserved for teaching, scientific and cultural nature visits, as well as for formal activities and the promotion of tourist activities.
And these are today's headlines. New funds for Urban Agenda action plans. Big data as a tool for tourism excellence. Navas meets with British foreign residents. Traveling to UK or the US will require a full vaccination schedule. International tourism back at Costa del Sol. The weather forecast for the weekend will leave us with cloudy skies with occasional thunder showers, which may be locally strong around the coast in the early morning and in the late hours. In the region of Antequera, minimum temperatures on the rise and maximum in decline. Winds from the east with a strong gust in the morning, decreasing to light in the afternoon. And that's all. Thank you for watching us, and remember, you can stay updated on our website or social media profile on Facebook and Twitter. Have a good night and enjoy the weekend.